That's one thing I don't think we've covered yet. Actually, is how to make nice roads.
I don't think we did. We talked about putting the roads down, and we
Yeah.
talked about some of the editing the height stuff, but I don't think we talked about like here, like how would you make this a nice road that kind of went out around
hmm
there.
It's
So
pretty intimidating, I must admit. But there is a way, and a way that I've been using for uh, all of the four height maps that I released at once. I used the method with those, and it's a godsend. I can't remember who it was. I believe it was somebody on YouTube channel, I believe. That narrows it down. He
yeah,
uh,
yeah, that
he was
narrows it down greatly. Sure.
he was explaining about making nice contours with the height set tool, and it works perfectly for roads, absolutely perfectly. So,
Okay.
say let's make a road that, or at least a roadworthy surface that is traveling along the direction you're facing now and curving slightly to the left around that hill.
Yep,
That's
right
in
in
front.
here.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no way that that would make a good road right now.
Right. Yeah.
So if we, where are we? Okay, so what we need to do is use the height set tool, which will set everything within the brush to the height that you've specified.
Okay.
So you
You'll have
select that
to
tool.
you'll have to
That's
refresh my memory.
it's the one just above the black dot.
Okay.
That one.
Set height.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So in the top middle, where you've got your size and your pressure, you've got the height measurement, which
Yep.
is always there, but it only is relevant to this tool, as far
Okay.
as I'm aware.
All right.
At the moment, it's set to default, which is actually miles away from here because we've got this map at 0.
Okay.
In fact, the top of the hills won't be miles away from there. Anyway, so if you click, sorry, don't click, but put your brush just over where the car is.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, perhaps make the brush size 10.
Okay.
Yeah, make it 10 because we're going to be smoothing it over anyway. It's always better to make the blocky parts of the editing bigger than you want the final product to be, because after smoothing it will reduce its profile quite a lot. It will become a smaller looking
Oh, okay.
feature.
Sure.
So if you hold down the Alt key and
Okay.
then click, that won't change the map. What that'll do is it will capture the
Oh,
exact
yeah.
height of the
Okay.
terrain of where your mouse is. So
Yeah.
now if you click again without the Alt key, it will just make that bit black straight away.
Oh, that is so cool. And then I just
Looks horrendous, but
that's okay.
oh no, incorrect.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Well, no, that's not incorrect. If you wanted a dead flat road and you wanted it to cut through the hill, like some real roads do, that would be fine. But the way we want it to be smooth,
Okay.
it's a little bit more to it. So let's.
Don't
If you
mind me.
move.
I'll just be over here in the corner with the
I'm
cone
sorry.
cap on my head. Okay, go ahead.
The dunce hat.
That's exactly. All right.
Right after you got the cane.
Yeah. That's
I'm a youngster. I'm luckier to avoid that. My granddad and dad didn't. Anyways, so if we move the move the camera, so we're sort of got a bird's eye perspective of the car and the close-ish area. So the technique is kind of like a brushing technique almost, but you're not dragging. Don't worry, you don't have to drag and
okay.
have finesse with your hand movements or anything like that.
All right.
So what we want to do is your mouse is pretty much already in exactly the right place. So
Okay.
the technique is you do your first block like you have,
Okay.
and then you move the mouse in the direction that you want the road to be going
Okay.
until it's just off of the patch you've just made. So only just so if you see where the circle roughly was, you want to put your mouse just on the edge of it. So back exactly where you were. You've just moved away from it. Not the edge of the circle, sorry. I mean the mouse cursor itself, the center of the brush. So you're overlapping it like the Olympics.
Oh. Like okay, more like
Just
this.
like that. So you want to get the mouse onto the first bit of terrain that isn't affected by
Gotcha. Okay.
the brush, the
Sure.
effect you've just
Okay.
put on,
Okay.
and then press Alt click and click. So it'll capture that height and place it, and then you do it again, but Alt click then click, and you just do that in a daisy chain in the whole sort of direction you want. And what that'll do is it will build like a steps a bit closer to where you were. That was a bit far.
Oh.
Undo
Okay.
and you want it literally as close to the previous circle as possible, but not on any of the modified terrain. So just a bit further along the road, a bit in the middle of those two of that grid. Yeah, perfect. So do
Okay.
Alt click, click, and then just keep going all the way around the corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to come around this bend, so.
And then perhaps try going up a steep hill as well, doing it.
Okay.
Make sure you don't click on the same point that you've already brushed on.
Right.
Make sure it's just away from the point the edge of the circle, so it's on natural terrain, but close as you can be to
So kind of
your
like
already
this?
edited terrain. Yeah, about there's perfect. Doesn't matter what angle it is. Don't worry about it being any different height. In fact, the better the difference in height, it would be better to be different in height, so that the example I'm explaining could be more, visible. That's a really long way to explain that. So
Okay.
yeah, even if it's a huge step down, just do it right there.
Like right here?
As close as you can, but yeah, try not to get it on the slope, on any untouched terrain. It's there. So
Okay, so give me like up, down, left, and right. Where should I go?
Well, where zoom in a little bit more so you can see closer, because you've got the edge of that overhanging there. You can't quite see where your mouse is. Don't be afraid to move the camera around. I'm constantly flinging it around all over the place.
Okay.
So you want it to be.
I'm trying to go like here.
You want it to be in the middle of the road that you're sort of envisioning, but you want it to be. You don't want to click on any of the terrain that's been edited by the previous brush click. You want it to be as close to that, but also you want it to capture the height of the closest natural terrain. That way you're making a smooth slope of steps going downhill. Don't worry about that. That's perfect.
Oh.
That's exactly what you want.
Oh, it is?
It looks crap. It looks crap to start with, but it will.
Okay.
At the end of the technique, you will see what I mean.
Right.
So keep close to the circle. That's a bit far away.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You want it literally like the Olympics rings link up. So they're not inside each other, but the middles are just out of each other.
Okay.
So yeah, about there's fine.
Okay.
The closer you get it, the smoother it is. But if you overlap it onto the already edited terrain, it won't make the smooth. It needs to go down as the terrain's going down. So what we're doing is making a straight line of the same terrain, but the outsides of it are flattened. So yeah, right there, not on the slope though, on that sharp slope that's been made by your last brush edit. You don't want to click on that. You don't want that to be. You don't want that anywhere in the data, but you want to get it as close to that as possible.
So I should be down here more.
No, like right where you were.
Oh, okay.
Close, even closer. Right there is perfect. As long as it's on terrain that hasn't been modified. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'm taking your word for it, because like you said, it looks like crap, so.
Yeah, keep going like that. This is going to be good, actually, because it's coming down into a valley.
If you say so, boss.
Yeah, I remember the first time I tried it, I was like, is this really going to work?
Yeah, because you're looking at it now going, well, I've made a nice waterfall.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
Okay.
What you're essentially making is a width of profile to work with. And all we're going to do is smooth it over.
Oops. Hit the wrong key. Ooh, that one.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is actually kind of flat, so it's kind of hard for me to tell where I was. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good enough for the example. This is a good place to sort of get used to the smoothing tool and adjusting its parameters, because it can be quite drastic, and you can undo all of this very easily with the smoothing tool, and it will have been pointless. If you have it set to really low pressure, though, you can work with it, and you can really sort of make it nice.
Okay.
So right now, we should start, I think, from where the car is, and you've got the smoothing tool. We've got it on about 10 and pressure at 1, which is great. Put the softness up to 100 as well. Maximum.
And I know there was like a key command for that. Was it like control wheel or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, control shift, I believe.
Okay. There we
go. Anyway, so as I said in the previous time we spoke about the smoothing tool, if you hold the click and move, it will add its smoothing effect extremely rapidly, and really it's no way to fine tune anything.
Sure.
Unless you just want to get rid of something quickly and just smooth it straight over.
Okay.
So the technique really is just clicking, and if you find it's going too slowly, increase the pressure just slightly. But I wouldn't go above a pressure level of 10 doing this. Okay. But you can be quite quick. I mean, the way I did this with the South Park map, I did it with brush steps of 30. They were huge because I was thinking I wanted to allow there for dual carriageways or highways to be placed on the smooth part of the road. So these were really big steps, and smoothing it over was quite easy. I could just be on maximum smooth and just go right over it all. This is a bit more fine tuning, which is good. So it's a better example. So everything that's jaggy, just start clicking all over it.
Am I holding my mouse button, or am I just clicking?
No, just tap. If you do that, it will just basically make it back to almost what it was before.
Gotcha.
So right now you can see it's only just tickling it. So try a pressure of 3 instead of 1, because we'll be here all night. But just something below 5. Yeah,
Okay.
3 should be a good one to test, just to see. Yeah, it's a bit better. You can drag a little bit, just try and drag, but only just little, like you were dabbing a paintbrush sort of thing, like little dabs. But yeah, we probably should have gone a bit wider, to be honest. But yeah,
So
gradually
do I keep doing this here,
Yep.
like where that really jagged part
yeah,
was?
just anywhere that's jaggy, just smooth away. You just don't want to smooth it too much so that it completely loses the feature of being sort of flattened.
Okay. Like this is a major drop off right here.
Yeah, that'd be a nice sort of drop in.
So, like I said, I'm trying to do this, but I don't want to lose the feature.
Increase the pressure maybe a little bit so you don't have to click so much, unless you're happy with it like that.
No, actually, I think I'm okay with that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good to find something that you're comfortable with. I mean,
we'll find out when it's all said and done, and if it looks like I've created like a weird pillow or something. I don't know.
Yeah, this would have been better with a bigger brush because the steps are a bit close together, really. But it's still workable. I mean,
That's
you could
okay.
spend enough time, and that would be a gorgeous smooth road.
All right, so like, okay, so here, back where this drop off is really significant. Well, I guess at this point, actually, I guess I could sort of leave it that way. I mean, bring that up just a little. Bring that over a little. Oh yeah.
Remember to try and change your brush size as well, because at the moment you're affecting everything inside of that circle, and it works off of, I think it works off of averages or something. So you want to make the brush smaller and keep it over certain features rather than over multiple features at once.
I see. I see.
Process quite a lot.
Sure.
That way you can bring that dip out a bit more, like a dent.
Like this one here.
Yeah, and the steep bit as well that you were mentioning. That sort of drop-in part that could pull that out like a metal dent.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Headbutt the floor.
Okay, I think that's actually kind of decent.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's still definitely a dirt road, but it's a flat dirt road in the respect of it resembles a road in its sort of profile. It's got a width and it follows a sort of route rather than just being a lumpy side of a hill.
Right, yes. Well, and it's definitely smoother. I mean, yes, all this stuff needs to be smoothed out as well, but it's definitely much smoother than it was, like with all these geometric shapes up here.
Yeah.
So I can
I said, I should have told you to use a bigger brush. I thought it would be all right, but yeah.
That's okay. A lot of that's just playing around.
That was for the height the stepping part, basically. But yeah, that's the technique. You just need to create steps, but make sure that your steps are just ahead of each previous step. That way you get flattened terrain, but along the same height profile as the terrain was. Because as you're clicking the same, as you're specifying which height, you're actually placing a flat piece over there, but the bit your mouse was on is exactly the same height as it was before you touched it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, that's a general idea. All right.
Yeah.
So
just use a bigger brush if you're going to try this. A bigger brush to make the height set stamps.
Just gonna kind of move this a little bit. Okay. So just for the sake of argument. All right. Now, if I wanted to actually paint in some dirt road, then I could use the this one.
That's to add in decal roads for the AI and for visuals, but just use maybe the terrain paint. Well, I mean, you could put a road in if you want and put with a texture, but it would only have the ground model of the grid floor, which I think is the same as asphalt.
All right, so I want rocky dirt. Yes, I think.
Whatever takes your fancy.
I don't remember. I don't remember what. So, okay, that's not.
Rocky dirt's a good go-to.
All right, so and I should be painting now, right? No, why am I not painting?
Your pressures turn right down.
Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah. My pressure. Yeah. I need some more pressure.
This editor likes to move and change things between types of editor. It's a bit annoying, especially when the hotkeys are different in the terrain editor than they are from the terrain painter.
Yes. Well,
and object.
And I vaguely remember, yeah, we talked about that, I'm sure multiple times at this point, where depending on what tool you have selected, then what the settings are may or may not transfer with that, and you may have to fix them, like with this one where the pressure got changed to. And I know I'm not painting exactly where I need to go. I don't care. We're just playing around.
It does carry over the settings usually, like with this, but
all right. So I have a
not sure
theoretical dirt road. Whoops.
Yeah, that's theoretical. All right.
Thanks. All right. So there we go. Okay.
Things like that to make that look good, you need to spend 20 to 30 minutes on something even as big as that to make it look really nice. So this is just basically explaining how to get started with it. Really, it's just getting yourself going. Knowing this, you can then go nuts.
So I should be able to. I saved it, and so now I should be able to. There we go. And pop us down here, and now I'm driving on the dirt road. Wow, that's a seriously scary. And that is also. Oh, but that is so cool. I mean, yeah, bouncy as I'll get out, but still.
It'll be good for the hopper.
Yes, it would.
The whole map would be great just to roam around.
Oh yeah, this would be a great off-roading map.
Hey, there's another video for you.
Hey, that's right. So,
get it painted, put some trees in, and off you go.
Awesome stuff, man. Cool.
Once I've explained the whole scenario thing, you can make a scenario. Whip!
By the way,
I think you got a flat tire.
Yeah, I think so.
As soon as we've explained scenarios, you can then put in you can make a scenario where it starts you off somewhere in this map, and you have to go to waypoints like Baja.
Oh yeah,
single player Baja.
Yes, that would be cool.
See how fast you could do it. Exactly what I've done with the Vulture's Pass map, just on a very grand scale. But that's so much fun. I love the fact that with this sort of thing, you don't have to choose a route. You could just right, I'm going to get there by going up that hill there.
Right, exactly.
Okay, this time I'm going to go up that hill because that hill was actually really steep.
Yes.
So it's like totally replayable.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so cool. Come on. You can get there in your busted up car. Here, we'll take a more horizontal route up. There you go. That is, man, yeah, I can see where, using a height map, instantly gives you various terrain very quickly. I mean,
this is an unsmoothed height map. That's something I actually have forgotten. So this is such a nice height map that it actually only really needs a little bit of smoothing. That's why I kind of didn't think about it, because usually, the height maps I've imported can be like really jaggy. So what we need to do is use another fantastic BeamNG tool, which saves millions of hours.
Okay.
If we go back into the editor,
all right,
this might actually improve your road a fair bit as well. There is a grand tool called the Smooth Terrain tool, I think, or Smooth All Terrain. So if you go to the top, make sure you have the terrain editor selected, like David's just clicked, and then click Terrain at the top next to View and Camera in the on the top bars. And then Smooth Height Map, that's the one. Now you can click this as many times as you want, but just go back in and have a look now.
Oh my.
to where your road is. That's basically smoothed one step over the whole map.
Yeah.
So now all those jaggy bits are smoother. And you
Look
can
at
click
that.
that to your heart's content, and it will start removing features. But if it's still a bit jaggy, just do it again.
Yeah.
It just does a little bit, and that can save you. I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, that's definitely
okay,
a major thing.
My car's coming back here in just a second. There you are.
Brilliant.
It will be with you in just a moment. Oh yeah, I love that. Look at that. Yeah, that smoothed that right up. Look at that.
Much better chance in this car now.
Ah, that's great. Very nice. Oh, that's what we're looking for. Oh,
It's not BeamNG without a crash.
no, that's right, man.
So vast.
This
isn't as big. This isn't the biggest you can make either.
No, yeah. And what's crazy is, this one is only 2048. I say only, but you can see how big the area is, how much map you have to work with, even with something, in that size.
Imagine 4096 is this times 4.
Wow, man.
So another one in front, another one to the left, and another one diagonally.
No wonder some of these maps are so huge.
And take so long to develop.
And load.
Yeah.
So
Like the Tennessee map.
I was just going to say, it gives me a whole new appreciation for things like Blunderton's massive maps that he comes up with. That is great. Wow.
Yeah, that guy's a god.
That is very, very cool. Oh. Alright, so we created a height map. We brought it in here. We did some smoothing, created a road of our own. And we're just flipping and flopping and rolling down.
Going for it.
There you go. Awesome stuff.